Hey guys, so I'm obviously in the hospital. I know that I have not created a video since the confirmation heartbeat ultrasound, but I figured I would just come on and give you guys an update. I started getting contractions around noon, and I just assumed they were Braxton Hicks because they would go on and off. I'm sorry, and I apologize for this beeping in the background. But I thought they were Braxton Hicks, so I just ignored them. And then around 5:30, the contractions kind of started getting really bad and on top of each other, and I was in just constant pain for a long time. So finally, everyone was concerned, obviously, and they wanted me to call the doctor, so I did. And the on-call nurse wanted me to call 911, which I did not really want to get in an ambulance and take an ambulance to the hospital because I didn't want my intended parents to have to pay for that bill. So I just had my husband bring me. They checked everything, and turns out that I had a fever of 103. The heart rate for the baby was really high. They said it was high because of the fever. Excuse me. My heart rate was high. Blood pressure was okay. They gave me Tylenol for the fever. They did a COVID test. I was negative for COVID. But they did go ahead and admit me, and they are keeping me overnight so they can run all sorts of tests to see if there's an infection that is causing this fever. My contractions have lightened up. Excuse me. So I'm not in constant pain like I was before. I'm so tired, sorry. It is currently like 12:14 in the morning. They did clear me to eat food, so we went ahead and ordered food. My husband is downstairs waiting for our DoorDash order. So hey guys, so today is Saturday, May 1st. The video that you just saw of me in the hospital was exactly a week ago on Saturday, it was Saturday, May 24th, but it would have been May 25th since I believe it was like past midnight. I have been obviously postponing creating this video for almost a week. And I know that I have not created videos since the heartbeat ultrasound, like I had mentioned. I honestly didn't make any videos just because I didn't really have anything to record. There really were no updates. I didn't really think that you guys wanted a video of my baby bump or anything like that. I did have a appointment a few weeks ago and found out that I had placenta previa, but it still wasn't really enough to create a video. I did have an ultrasound, but they would not allow me to record the ultrasound, therefore no video. So instead I actually FaceTimed Selena for the entire ultrasound so that she could see the ultrasound. But basically after what happened after what you guys saw in the video that I just recorded prior to this, was my fever went down from 103. The Tylenol kicked in and the fever broke that night. So they were, hopeful, and they were running tests. They took a ton of blood. I have bruises all over my arms from the amount of times they had to prick me with a needle. They immediately took blood cultures and urine cultures because that was going to take 1 to 3 days for the cultures to actually grow in a petri dish. So that took a while to receive. They were just trying to really narrow down and figure out what was going on, where the fever was coming from. They were able to narrow down that it was an infection in my uterus. I did mention placenta previa, I believe. So I had placenta previa. It wasn't complete, although my records stated that it was complete placenta previa. And if for any of you who don't know what placenta previa is, it's when your placenta basically is kind of covering the cervix. If it's complete, then it's obviously completely covering the cervix. If it's partial, then it's partially covering the cervix. Anyways, I was kind of worried because I knew that if I did have to deliver the baby, I would have to do a C-section, and I was not wanting to do a C-section. Long story short, my fever came and went as the Tylenol wore off and kicked back in and all the things. So they were monitoring that, and then I started bleeding on Sunday. Yeah, so Sunday evening I started bleeding. Sunday the 25th, May 25th, I started bleeding and lost a lot of blood. It freaked out the nurses and the residential doctor that was with me at the time, because it was Sunday, so my doctor wasn't in. My doctor was actually on vacation, so I wasn't expecting to see him. But I started bleeding, so they moved me to labor and delivery, and they mentally prepared me to have a C-section and said, just if all worst comes to worst, you will have to have a C-section. And also, I would more than likely have to go under anesthesia and not be awake for the C-section, which I also was not looking forward to, because who wants to go to sleep under an operation and not have their significant other in the room with them? So they transferred me to labor and delivery, and they were moving pretty quickly. I was losing a lot of blood. I don't remember the exact measurement of blood. I'm pretty sure it was milliliters. I think she said I lost total, or if not a little more than 1,200 milliliters of blood, because I had asked. They had to give me a blood transfusion, and I asked, it was like a bag of blood, and I wanted to know, was that equivalent to the amount of blood that I had lost? And she was like, no, you lost way more. So they were talking and getting advice from other doctors in the area about possibly delivering vaginally. Or possibly doing a D&E, which is similar to a D&C, but apparently a D&E is different. So they were just kind of measuring a bunch of different options besides a C-section, which I did appreciate. And then magically, my OB-GYN walked in the door, right at midnight on Monday morning, and took over. And it was really, I guess, somewhat of a relief to see him and have him there, because I'm comfortable with him, and I've been with him for over 11 years now. So he's delivered my 3 babies, and he's an amazing surgeon. So if I had to have a C-section, I would want him operating on me. They finally were able to give me an epidural, but the epidural, unfortunately, wasn't the full dose because my blood pressure was low, and they were worried that the epidural would make my blood pressure more low, I guess, or even lower. So right after I received the epidural, we didn't really have time to wait and let it kick in, so I kind of ended up having to deliver the baby vaginally without the epidural being kicked in. So I felt everything, and then afterwards they had to scrape the placenta out. I was exactly 21 weeks at midnight on Monday, so unfortunately the baby was too young to survive. But they forced, for lack of a better word, to deliver so that they could save my life, I guess. The baby had to come out. But basically what happened was there was an infection in my uterus, and my body did its natural thing of trying to deliver the baby in order to preserve me. I am completely devastated. The parents are completely devastated. It's been a rough week for me and for the parents. I am sad that this is the end of my surrogacy journey and that this is the way that it's ending. It's not at all what I anticipated. It's not at all that I wanted. I never would have imagined that it would have ended this way. Never did I even think that what happened was a possibility, which I want to say is a mistake on my end for not thinking that I wasn't invincible. I felt like I was entitled to carry this baby 9 months, and I didn't think anything could go wrong. But God has different plans. So I just wanted to come on and give you guys the last update. For those of you guys who don't know and have been following me on this journey, I am completely free and open to answering any questions anybody has. I don't really have anything else to say. I'm glad that I was able to get through that whole thing without crying. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching and going on this journey with me. I'm at a loss for words really about the whole thing. So anywho, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. You guys be safe. I more than likely won't be posting any more videos. So anyways, thank you guys again. God bless.